Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Young with the pH Miracle Living Center here in Valley Center, California, and I'm with my associate and good friend, Dr. Ben Johnson. And, you know, I love our association because we bring both worlds together. The world of nutrition and naturopathy, and then, of course, the world of osteopathy and also medicine. Because you are a medical doctor and you're a DO, as well as you're a naturopathic doctor. But you're also an extraordinary, exceptional doctor because even though you have all these titles and all this education, you're actually, you know, also a water guru. And in fact, you've written a book here called Healing Waters, and we've been on the same page, and we've worked together for several years, but we've been talking about alkaline water for how long? I mean, for me, it's been maybe 2 decades. For you?
Only 7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years, but we've been on the same path, and all of a sudden here we're on this path, and it's come together, and we're trying to help people, you know, with probably the most important single thing that they can do is, if they do nothing at all, is just change the water you're drinking. So there's water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. And the reason why is because our waters are polluted, and they're polluted with chemicals and pharmaceuticals and minerals like fluoride and chlorine, and you all know all that stuff. You talk about it in your book. I talk about it in my pH Miracle book. I got a chapter in here that talks about the 4 aspects of good water. It's got to be clean. Okay, so you got to take out all the impurities. It's got to be alkaline. It's got to be functionally structured, molecularly structured, so it can permeate the cell membrane. And then it's got to have an electrical potential. It's called ORP. And so, Ben, what have you learned, you know, as a doctor of medicine and as a doctor of naturopathy, and what have you seen by getting your patients to change the water they're drinking? From, let's say, tap water to an alkaline water.
You know, tap water is pretty toxic soup. It has the chlorine in it, it has the fluoride, which are toxic waste chemicals. It was interesting, I saw an article in the newspaper a few years back where all of the water treatment specialists across America were meeting.
Yeah. And
it said that they knew they had a problem. And that was, they knew that chlorine caused cancer and caused disease. This was printed in the newspaper from what they were discussing at their meeting.
Right.
They just didn't know what to do about it. Because the chlorine kills bacteria.
Right.
And that's their #1 thing. They don't want anybody to get any bacteria in the water, so they put this toxic chlorine in it. It does kill the bacteria. It's just killing us too.
I see. So let's get rid of the bacteria, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, we're getting rid of ourselves at the same time. So, you know, when we take that type of information, we're talking about a clean water. So how do we get rid of bacteria? How do we get rid of chlorine, you know, and do it in a way to create a safe, clean, functionally structured water? And I know you've written about it. I've written about it, but I want to know your thoughts.
And that the last thing was the ORP, the oxidative reduction potential, because that is in effect drinking antioxidants in your water.
Right. Because
the antioxidant potential is important and significant in our lives, because all day long we are oxidizing, we are creating free radicals by the very process of creating energy in our bodies. We are body electric. And through the process of generating that electrical energy in our body, we create free radicals. And digestion of food and breakdown processes, all day long we're creating free radicals. And that's what oxidative reductive potential means, ORP. The ORP of water is it has the ability to neutralize those free radicals. And so that is crucial, and having a nice ORP in water is really important, because you're literally, we get antioxidants in vegetables and lots of healthy foods, if you're taking vitamin supplements, but we can literally drink antioxidants in our water.
So what you're saying is we've got to pee our way to health? Is that what you're saying?
No, drink our way to health.
Okay, drink your way to health and then pee your way there. So hydration is key. In fact, probably one of the #1 causes of sickness and disease. Would you agree with me on this?
Dehydration.
Dehydration. So water everywhere and not a drop to drink. You know, so with this type of problem, okay, we've got to have clean water. It's got to be bacteria-free. It's got to be alkaline, ideally at a pH of 9.5 on a scale of 0 to 14. It's got to be oxygen-rich or antioxidant, which means it's loaded with electrons to neutralize those acidic waste products. You know, kind of like what Ben was saying, Dr. Ben was saying free radicals. And free radicals are kind of like bachelors that are trying to pick up on some chicks here, you know. So they go around, because they're electrically negatively charged, going around and picking up these positively charged chicks, you know. And that neutralizes them and, of course, makes them more stable water. And that's just kind of a simple, yeah, it's kind of a simple way to look at it. So I created the perfect water. pH means for perfect health, but the perfect water considering those particular 4 areas. So I have it in a bottle, of course, and then I also have it where you can create it right in your home. And what it does is it goes through a sediment filter, taking out all of the impurities, okay, and then it goes into an ultrafiltration. Guess what it takes out? The bacteria without using the fluoride. So rather than killing the bacteria, you want to filter that out. And then something that no one else has ever done, in fact I have a patent on this, is we don't use any ceramics in our remineralization, because that'll put glass into your water. And all of the ionizers out there that are using filters are using ceramics, and they're literally putting little particles of glass in the water. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I've created the first non-ceramic mineralization filter. It's my filter number 3. We have a patent on that we're putting in what I call the watermark. And then it goes into our last final carbon filter that takes out additional last-minute impurities, going into our alkalization chamber, because it uses no electricity. There's no plates in this machine. So it doesn't use it by electrolysis and electrically charging the water and breaking the molecules apart, creating greater surface area, and thus the greater surface charge. I got that all out in one breath. But it also, what it does is it breaks the water molecules apart, creating greater surface area and greater surface charge, because the greater the surface area, the greater the surface charge. And that's how you create a alkalized ORP, or oxidative reduced water. And it's all done through pressure rather than electricity. So you can use this anywhere. You can hook it up to your garden hose. You can hook anything that's pressurized. You can take a bag of water and run it down under pressure and run water through it. You can be anywhere. I mean, this is, and it only weighs like 8 pounds. But I did this because I wanted to reduce the cost, and I wanted to provide an apparatus that would accomplish those 4 things. What are they? Clean water, bacteria-free water, pH water at 9.5, a oxidative reduced water with lots of electrons, you know, those bachelors that go around and pick up those acid chicks, right? And then finally creating, through non-electricity, breaking of the water molecules to create a greater surface area, that's greater surface charge, creating an alkaline water. And the reason why, you know, our association is so wonderful is because what we have is we have a medical doctor that's validating through his own clinical studies the efficacy of changing the water to a more alkaline water to help bring more health and vitality. I'm doing the same thing. Is that what you found?
Well, water is the basis of life, and so if we want to have health and vitality, you have to start with water, because our body, everything is dissolved in water, and water is what makes us work. Water is life. That's why there's no life on Mars. That's why there's no life on the moon. There's no water. Water is why life happens, and to our knowledge, the Earth is the only planet in the universe with water. There may be some out there, way out there, but that's why there's life here, among other things. But water is where life happens, and that's where all of the reactions happens, and so you don't want polluted water. You don't want those reactions having difficulty time happening. You want the process to be smooth, live, interactive. So you want that process healthy.
Well, you know, you're validating not only what I've been working on for the last 25 to 30 years, but it feels good to not be alone in telling people the significance and the importance of drinking functionally structured alkaline water. It's good for the body. It's what will keep us healthy. It will help to manage and maintain the alkaline design of the body, because these are my two discoveries. The first one is that the human body is alkaline in its design. The other is that all functions of the bodies produce acidic waste products, if not properly eliminated through the 4 channels of elimination, will then set the stage for sickness and disease. If you are hydrating, flushing out these toxins, keeping your body, you know, that 70–80%, because when you're born, 90% water, you're dead, you're under 60, 70, 65, 50% water, you're dehydrated. And this is the best water you can drink. Now, there is a warning. I've got to tell you this, okay? Because I want to be completely transparent here. If you start drinking this water, you're not going to be able to stop. It's addictive. Because when you start hydrating with a functionally structured water, you can't get enough of it. Your body is going to literally crave it. And everybody says this. Everybody says it. So, Dr. Ben, thanks for your contributions in purification and water alkalization, and the support of a good water for good health. And I appreciate our association, our friendship, and the opportunity to share products that are relative for good health today. This is Dr. Young with Dr. Ben Johnson, and also Dr.